Joe, it's a bright, shiny day. Oshkosh is almost over, but we are just a few hundred yards away from the Pilot Proficiency Center and the object of a tremendous passion of yours, which is improving pilot proficiency throughout the entire pilot community. Where does this come from?
Where does the interest in it come from?
Absolutely.
It comes from the fact that I realized when I got my instrument rating with 400 hours and went flying, I really didn't know that much, and that was apparent. I was book smart, but not seasoned. And about that same time, I had the opportunity to start flying with Hartzell's pro pilots fairly often. And every time I briefed a flight with them, I got something from them I hadn't thought of myself. And still, I felt like I had worked pretty hard at this, but they were just better. And I thought to myself, this is an advantage I have that most pilots do not have as a professional mentor. That just doesn't seem right. How can we have all pilots get the experience of training like a pro, even if they're just flying 50 hours a year? So I sort of had a small quest to figure out what technologies and tools were out there to make pilots better pilots, and how could we make sure pilots were aware of them. And that all culminated in this wonderful partnership EAA has blessed us with, and that is to do this Proficiency Center here on the grounds on the Four Corners. It's a main feature of the show, and I'm so excited about it. There's a real theory in that building. You got to open the door to see it, but the theory is that scenario-based training in simulators allows you to practice to mastery, because you can get the weather you want, you can get the winds you want, you can get the runway and approach type that you want, and you can keep doing it until you get it. You can fly pitch and power to the deck of a carrier. Why? Because it's fun, but really why? So that you understand pitch, power, and aim points. So this whole idea of scenario-based training that's going on in there is incredible. And we have 14 simulators flying 9 hours a day in that joint. We're running about 250 pilots through a day, plus another 750, maybe 600 some days through our tech talks. So if you go into the center, you literally could spend all day in there. You could go to 5 forums a day on skill building type seminars, or you could fly simulators through one of 31 scenarios. 31 scenarios, about half are IFR, about half are VFR, and about half of all of them have live ATC. So you've got decision making, you've got pilotage, you've got radio communications, and you're doing this all in a little lab called the Pilot Proficiency Center. It's incredible.
Where are we as a community still falling short of what we need to do to make sure that every pilot in this country has a chance to make sure you're getting from point A to point B, learning along the way and arriving safely?
Well, this Pilot Proficiency Center is meant to be a demonstration site for what we hope is a change in pilot behavior after the fact, because we want them to see the art of the possible. So here's where we're going. We're going to roll out a standard curriculum for 3 pilot profiles. One would be, say, green, like a ski slope symbol, who might be flying 0 to 50 hours a year. Blue would be somebody flying maybe 50 to 150 hours a year, and then black would be somebody flying more than 150 hours. And these pilot profiles have a curriculum that we're going to offer, which would replace the flight review. And it would be a full substitution for the flight review. And if you take this curriculum, it's only going to focus on risk factors. There will be no questions about airspace. There will be no questions about stripes and solid lines. You can study that on your own. This is all going to be about loss of control, ADM, and the kinds of things that get pilots in trouble. So this curriculum is drafted. EAA is doing this in deep partnership with AOPA. In fact, AOPA is playing a major role in this. And also SAFE and NAFI and the FAA, and we're going to roll this out. So the dream is that pilots come to EAA, they see what advanced training looks like, they understand that it's available, and then they substitute their flight review with a curriculum designed to reduce risk, period. And we're going to roll that out in the next year. I'm really excited about it.
Aero-TV is brought to you by...
When the runway is hard to find. 4Flight's moving map and extended center lines keep you tracking toward the correct runway. 4Flight, the app pilots depend on.